Hello and welcome back to the Film Custodian Show. I am your host, the Film Custodian, and today we're talking about a film that came out a couple years ago, in 2018. It's called Upgrade. Upgrade stars Logan Marshall, and it's directed by Leigh Whannell. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but anyway, Upgrade. This is the best movie that I've seen in a really long time. And I wish I had seen it in the theater when it came out in 2018. But honestly, and I even saw the trailers, and I was like, this looks kind of crazy. This looks kind of interesting. But then for whatever reason, I forgot about it, or I went and did other things. It fell off the map, and I completely forgot about it until recently. I saw it pop up again, on YouTube, actually. And then I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should go check this out. And I'm super glad that I did. It's absolutely fantastic. And the main actor in this film is kind of, he's really good in this movie. He's what makes this movie. If this movie had a bad lead, then the film would be terrible. A lot hinges on his performance. Logan Marshall, a lot hinges on his performance. Actually, he kind of looks like, from certain angles, he looks kind of like he could be Tom Hardy. You kind of have to do like a double take. Is that Tom Hardy? He looks like Tom Hardy in a couple different images. If you're just glancing off to the side or something. But no, he's really good. He first popped up in Prometheus, actually, the much loathed Alien prequel Prometheus, directed by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott finally returning to Alien. And I actually don't mind Prometheus. I think Prometheus is fine. I think Alien Covenant, the sequel to that, is also fine. I'm really into the robot stuff and all that. The big problem with those two films is that they forget that they're alien movies. It's like, where's the alien? And yeah, I know it's about where did they come from? That's the biggest flaw, because the idea that there's this mysterious, the xenomorphs, the alien ship, all that stuff is a mystery, and that's what makes it great. All right, anyway, there's my side rant for this particular video. So back to Logan Marshall and the film Upgrade. So Logan Marshall is the main actor, is the main character, and he works on cars. This is a post-apocalyptic. No. This is not a post-apocalyptic world. Well, maybe kind of. Well, it could become one. It's technologically advanced, let's say. This is in the future. This is AI has really come into play and whatnot, and that's kind of what makes this film relevant, maybe more now than ever. Now recently there's all these AI apps and whatnot that have come in, have just taken over the landscape, where everyone's afraid, right, of what's AI gonna do. It's students can download, chat AI or whatever. I don't know. Even like Snapchat had a thing that came up. Here's your personal AI. Here's all this AI stuff, and students can cheat on their tests. Are they going to write scripts in Hollywood? Hollywood currently is on strike. I think the actors are going to go on strike soon too. Whatever, they're a mess anyway, and they did it all completely to themselves. Hollywood has been screwed up and stupid for a really long time, so whatever. I believe this film, Upgrade, was an independent film, and it shows because there's actual storytelling and characters, and it's awesome. But anyway, so setting up this landscape, right now in real life, that AI could potentially become a problem and ruin a lot of things. But we've known this for years, going all the way back to, the Terminator franchise, and all the science fiction films have always been, in a way, kind of a warning, right? Now, of course, they were allegories too of like an alien movie in the 50s was really about watch out for the communists. That's one of the big themes, is the paranoia of AI and what it can do, and what it potentially could do. So the main actor, Gray, he works on cars. So he works with his hands, and he works on old-fashioned cars at this point, because at this point, imagine the electric cars have taken the next step, and now they're self-driving cars. All you have to do is get in the car, and you say, car, take me to the store, and the car will take you to the store. This guy works on, basically it's, gasoline engines. He works on muscle cars, he builds them, he puts them together, and then sells them to people, and that's how he makes a living. And then his wife works in something to do in the corporate world, the business world. And so he has a client where they go to a place. It's like this interesting kind of residence underneath like a big lake. And so that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of sci-fi in this. Again, this is in the future, kind of and it's definitely not a utopia, which this future's got, giant skyscrapers and, they kind of build the world a little bit. And, huge homeless population and whatnot. Like, this could be our reality anytime. So, this film is, it's like it was ahead of it. It kind of just knew where everything was going, I guess. Or maybe, hopefully not. That's why you have these movies, for warnings. But anyway, so he gets this client. It's this really rich scientist guy. He's, really good with AI and different things, basically. So it's like he has like an Elon Musk type of character that he's delivering this car to. And then, the guy is like, oh, would you like to see my new technology? He holds up this little microchip and calls it, this is STEM. And, if your limbs get destroyed or whatever, you could put this in, the back of your neck. And it'll do everything that your broken limbs can't do. So it's not really repairing you. It's not really repairing your spinal cord or your limbs so that you can move around. It's just, it does the job for you. So you kind of become a little bit kind of cyborgy in a way. It's just something that gets in there, you put it in, it connects to your brain, and now it's like, it does, you're in full control of it, right? But it does the work for you because it stimulates everything, or something like that. But anyway, yeah, just watch the film. It does a good job of explaining it. So, so eventually, of course, his wife dies, and he gets disabled, right? He becomes a quadriplegic. He can't move at all except for like his head and his mouth and whatever. And that's when, scientist man comes in and says, hey, remember I have that STEM thing? Why don't you put it in? And then that's where you get, the term upgrade. So, and then after that, there's this long journey of trying to figure out who murdered his wife, all the while STEM's, causing his own problems. Little minor spoilers here, but eventually, he does lose control and, STEM really does kind of take over his body. So there's a little bit of body horror in this film as well, where it's like you're not in control of what you're doing. Or, at the beginning, it's like you can kind of control it, you can say, STEM, take over, because a guy was attacking him, right? There's a lot of, because I didn't mention this. This is also an action film. This is an action film. It's like body horror. It's science fiction. It's, it's AI paranoia. It's all these different things. And it works. And it's a short film, too. It's less than 2 hours, I believe. So anyway, one of the first action scenes is like, he's like, he doesn't know how to fight. And so STEM is like, oh, well, I can help you with this, basically. And he's like, yeah, okay, take over. And then, he's just quickly becomes this, superhero type character throwing punches and whatnot. And then there's this movie's also hilarious. So the main character's like reaching down, grabbing plates and stuff and just smashing them and different things into this guy, into the guy that he's fighting's face. And he doesn't know what he's going to do because he's not in control at this point. So it's like, and he's just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like grabbing glass and just shoving it into the other guy's face. And he's just like, And the acting on the main character's face is just amazing because it's like, imagine if you're not in control of your body and it's just smashing plates and the guy you're fighting his face. So there's just, this is also a gory film. So it's, it's action, it's mystery, it's body horror, it's gore, it's everything. It's fantastic. There's even some sci-fi elements, even more sci-fi elements, or more upgrades, if you will, a little bit later on, where some of the villains in the story actually have guns implanted in their arms, right? So it's like this whole slot here, and just grab, a shell and just go, load up your arm, and then just like that. And so they can shoot like Iron Man out of their arm, or out of their hand, rather. It's great. This movie is so over the top. There's little elements of cyberpunk in there as well. Like what I just mentioned with the gun and the arm thing, or upgrades, or like in Star Wars, they call them mods. You remember the stupid spy kids like people in the Book of Boba Fett, where they kind of get upgrades, like, you know, they enhance their eyeballs, or, you know, they can run and jump real fast or whatever, you know, that type of thing. Which maybe in the future here on Earth, you know, in reality, that might happen. Who knows? Again, it's paranoia. You know, at one point I mentioned the electric cars that are self-driving. What happens if they get hacked? What happens if someone hacks into them and takes complete control and, you know, crashes your vehicle? You know, I mean, there's just it raises a lot of questions, but that's what good sci-fi does, right? So for sci-fi or, you know, or films that take place in the future are actually talking about the present time and how, you know, if we don't stop certain things, bad things can happen, you know, or yeah, I don't know how many people have come out and said, you know, we don't know what AI can do, blah, blah. But it's like humans are just so curious that we're going to keep finding out what we can do anyway, right? I mean, Star Trek, you know, they have their little communicators, you know, and they get on and hello, hello. They were cell phones, basically. We have that now. We're beyond that, actually, because they were basically like flip phones. Flip phones are cool. I think they should make a comeback. I mean, I think they're pretty cool. Bring back flip phones if you don't get anything else out of this video. But anyway, I've talked a good amount now about Upgrade. It's a fantastic film. I think Logan Marshall should be in more stuff. Or actually, yeah, they talked about making a sequel. They are making, of course, a TV show now. But it could be really cool. And I guess it's gonna take place after the movie, and it even has the original director attached. So that could be good. I could see this actually making a pretty good TV show the more I think about it, actually. Just because the world itself is interesting. Again, there's all those different elements and themes that they could explore. And it's just simple. If I made it sound more complicated than it is, it's not. It's a simple film. It's simple, stupid, with a lot of potential. And it's a great film. Go check it out. Upgrade. Go check it out. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.